Hey there everybody, this is Shanigo and welcome to Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate. I'm back on this game because it's recently come to light that it's actually now available on the Xbox One and the Xbox Series X stores. You can download pretty much any of the Dead or Alive games now. The first two games are the ones that have come from the Dead or Alive Ultimate from the Xbox 360, Xbox 360, no, it was not on the 360. The only Dead or Alive game that was on there was Dead or Alive 4, which is also on there along with Dead or Alive 3. As a side note, none of the Extreme games are here, so no bikini volleyball fan service for you lot. But anyway, with these games now coming on and being pretty much available for anybody who has like a modern console now, people are very well bound to ask, like, how do you basically get all the costumes in Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate, because there are a lot of costumes. I mean, granted, it pales in comparison to like Dead or Alive 5 with the DLC, but there are 137 costumes total in Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate, which is like not a mean feat. And for the most part, you'll be unlocking these by changing the difficulty on story mode and time attack to eventually to the hardest difficulties, and well, that can be pretty much mind-numbingly just like torture, basically, especially if you play on harder difficulties, and the game just gets not fun. However, there is another way to basically unlock absolutely everything in the game, and well, literally does unlock everything in the game, and it involves survival mode here. Basically what survival mode is that you pick one character and then you get you have to go through a gauntlet of multiple characters going at you. You can also do this in tag mode as well, which can be made for more interesting feats. And one of the gimmicks of survival mode is I'll just do a quick thing just to show you. Is pretty straightforward. Basically, when you kill somebody, they will drop an item, just like that. And basically, you collect these items, you either get more points, or if you haven't actually been getting beaten up, then you may also get, and some items will also give you health and such. And also, as you're just saying, down attack also give health as well, so items as well. So there we go. Basically, all of these will go into like this collection thing, which actually unlocks the first time you play survival and grab an item. And initially, these are like the first 51. Well, it's technically 50 items you can actually get. There are 3 for each character that are unique to them. Like these 3 ice creams are all Zax, for example. When you're playing that character, then those items will spawn exclusively if you're playing that character, and so on and so forth. I am going to put a link to a checklist that I've made with all the items on how to basically which character you need to unlock them with. And if you want to use it as a checklist for if you've got them or not, feel free to do it. I mean, I'll be honest, it is a pretty basic thing. I mean, it's a pretty basic spreadsheet thing, but I don't really think you really need anything more complicated than that. But anyway, you will also need to do this for all the 3 unlockable characters, so you will need to unlock all 3 of them. Which does also mean you will need to put, if you're playing on the Xbox One version or you're playing on the Series X version, well, either or really, you will need to go buy Dead or Alive 3 because you need a save file for that in order to unlock Hitomi. I may as well just get the unlock conditions out of the way. You actually want to play on default settings, no change in the settings in story mode at all. Otherwise the characters won't unlock. and you need to beat story mode with Leon, and that gets you Bayman. And with a Dead or Alive 3 save in hand, you need to finish AYANE's story mode, and that unlocks Hitomi. Whilst beating story mode with everybody basically gives you Tengu. And they're the only 3 characters that are unlockable, and you will need to get all 3 of them unlocked in order to basically get everything. So I will show you the best way of actually doing this. Actually, 2 things that you probably really be wanting to do. The first will be basically just grind for the items themselves. Especially like the unique items specifically. They do have increasing rarities, and they all have like increasing. All the unique items actually heal you. I think the most common one heals for 25% of your health. The slightly more rarer one increases raises your health by, well, it heals you for 50%, and the rarest one heals you for all your health. The prototype Xbox also heals you for all your health, but anybody can get that. Also, anybody can get the donut, the bag of money, the lipstick, and the carrot. They will always appear in survival mode, so those ones you don't really have to worry about. The only ones you have to worry about are like the 3 unique items for each character, as well as the gold medal. The gold medal is actually unique because you actually have to do something specific with this one. I will mention it later because I'm going to show you the other way of doing it. But once you've got this page of items actually got, usually the thing is the medal will probably be the last one you get if it's not the prototype Xbox. Then you unlock a second page, which I just temporarily showed, which has an even rarer item for everybody to pick up, and these are really just give you points, but you kind of also need to pick them up. And once you've picked up the last one for each character, but altogether it's 66 items total. This page has 51, and then the remaining 15 are here, are on page 2. And grabbing all the items unlocks everything in this game. It unlocks all the costumes, it unlocks the CG gallery, which is basically just the pictures of the girls in Dead or Alive Extreme, for the most part, if you're like into that. You also unlock the booster option, which unlocks the abridged version of Icons, a brief history of Dead or Alive. I think this is only like I think it's about 5 minutes long or something like that, and yet the full thing I believe is about 30 minutes, and it's probably on YouTube somewhere if you want to go ahead and find it for yourself. But yeah, just be aware this particular version I believe is abridged. The other thing that unlocks on the American version of Dead or Alive Ultimate is the booster disc, which contains all the costumes of Dead or Alive 3. Because I'm playing on the European version, I don't have this, because the European version of Dead or Alive 3 actually has all the costumes on the disc, so you actually have to unlock them in the proper methods that they were supposed to give, which nobody really has any clue on what to do, because I've not really seen a reliable guide on how to unlock all the costumes in Dead or Alive 3, I'll be honest. So, with all that pretty much said and done, suppose I should go ahead and tell you that the best way of doing this. So what you probably want to be doing first will be getting all the unique items, and for this you'll want to mess with some settings. Now I know I said don't mess with the settings. You only need to do that for unlocking the characters, and well, since the game just has one for each individual mode, you just basically just keep the things that default for story mode, and everything else you should unlock them for just fine. But for survival mode, what you'll want to do, you want to set difficulty to easy, and you want to change the life gauge to largest. You can ignore the warning that you'll not get any rankings and such, because, well, I'll be honest, I'm not sure whether that matters anymore, since all the online features on OG Xbox games they don't actually work anymore, for the most part. But anyway, we'll go into survival, battle it out. We will release a different character this time. But basically what you want to do, you want to try and get your opponent on the floor as quickly as possible, and then just spam the down and B, or the down and punch, or down and kick, down attacks for each character. It's different for each character. If you're not sure what it is, you can pause the game, go to command list, and scroll down to down attacks, and it will tell you which one you need to be using. You can use the up punch kick one to get an eye to do this, but it's not spammable. Same in the case of both Leon and Bayman. They also have ground throws. They're also slow, and there is a chance that you can potentially spam with them with the easy characters that you get at the start of survival mode, but not later. So it is pretty much better for them to use the regular old down attacks. Now, depending on how fast you can actually do this, you should be able to get like a fair few items for this. But bear in mind, you can only get 5 items at a time. Once you get a 6th item, then the last one actually just despawns. Eventually, the AI will get a little savvy to what you're planning on doing, and will get up much quicker than normal. Normally this happens roughly around 10 wins. So what you will actually have to do then is to basically just get yourself defeated and then just try again until you've got all the rare items, or all the items that you necessarily need. Now, I will say you will have to get defeated. I'm just gonna let the AI kill me at this point because I've shown what I need to do. The main reason you want the AI to defeat you once you've got your items is so then they'll actually go into the collection menu. Now, I don't know if I've already mentioned it, but the collection menu unlocks after picking up at least 1 item in survival mode, so you will need to have done at least 1 win. But anyway, you want to keep repeating that through every character until you've gotten all the unique items. Hopefully you'll have gotten by then at least one of the common items that everybody can pick up, and maybe even a prototype Xbox or 2. That's probably the rarest item you can get out of the original 50 items you can get. But anyway, the last thing I want to mention in the first page of the collection is the gold medal. I believe this only ever appears once. I don't think it actually appears in future, but it probably appears in future runs anyway, if you actually get that far. But this thing here, you need to, in order to get this thing to drop, and it will only drop 1 off, is to actually get 50 wins in survival mode. And I'll pretty much want to show you the best way of dealing with that with the settings. You're basically just doing the exact opposite of what I've done with item grinding. Survival mode grinding, keep difficulty on easy, but you want the life gauge to be on the smallest one. And you can do all of the survival mode stuff, I believe, both single and tag. Tag might be a little bit quicker. I personally got my medal on. I personally got my medal on 50 wins. I'm probably going to put the footage up of that, me doing that on screen. I did that on a stream that I did a good 6+ years ago, and I promised to myself that I would never go and do survival mode grinding like that ever again. And I'm not going to, because if I'm doing request videos for Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate, they're going on the Xbox 360. Again, it'll warn you about the rankings, it doesn't really matter. Oh yeah, and then you'll just play survival and just go through it. Ideally, you'll want to be using your best character for this, because you're going to have to go through 50 characters, like 50 other opponents before you do this. And yeah, like eventually, on your 50th character, the medal will drop. Make sure you grab it before it despawns, and pretty much there you go. And then once that's pretty much unlocked, you unlock the other tier of items that you actually have to collect. Then you basically have to going back to the original item grinding thing until they appear. And then once they've appeared, you basically unlocked everything. It's it's rather straightforward, let's be honest. So yeah, anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to say about how to unlock everything in Dead or Alive 2 Ultimate, because I know people have asked me about it. So I've decided to go do a video on it, and hopefully it'll help those people who've asked me about it and anybody else who happens to come across this video. If you like it, please sure to make a like, comment if you want. It helps with the YouTube algorithm apparently. And be sure to check out my other stuff, and if you like my other stuff, then feel free to subscribe and check out other content that I do. This channel mainly does playthroughs of games, it doesn't do just Dead or Alive stuff. So yeah, a little bit of a variety and such. But yeah, take care, and I will see you guys later. Ciao.